Is your help desk truly secure? A single weak login can expose customer data, internal conversations, and critical support operations. In this video, I will show you how to secure your customer support in BoldDesk using 3 powerful layers: single sign-on, two-factor authentication, and IP restrictions. A password alone is not enough to protect customer conversations, tickets, and internal data. It is important to understand what this setup achieves. You are securing access at 3 levels. Identity is handled through single sign-on. User verification is strengthened with two-factor authentication. And network-level control is enforced using IP restrictions. When combined, these layers significantly reduce the risk of unauthorized access and data exposure. The first step is to set up Azure Entra ID Single Sign-On. For detailed instructions on configuring SSO in the Microsoft Azure portal, refer to the documentation linked in the description. From the BoldDesk admin page, go to the Agent Portal settings, then open the Login tab. Here, select OpenID Connect, an authentication layer built on top of OAuth 2.0 that securely verifies user identity. Before configuring this, make sure you already have the required credentials from your identity provider. These include the client ID from your app registration overview, client secret generated in your identity provider, and tenant ID directory identifier. You will also need the callback or redirect URL from BoldDesk to be registered in your identity provider. Paste the client ID and client secret, verify the scopes, and enter the authority and logout endpoints obtained from your identity provider. Please note that the BoldDesk callback URL must be configured as a redirect URL in your identity provider, and ID tokens should be enabled. Once this is set up, save the configuration. At this point, SSO is active for the agent portal. You can repeat the same process for the customer portal. One important detail: BoldDesk treats the agent and customer portals as separate applications, so each requires its own SSO configuration. For setting up OAuth 2.0, additional configuration is required. Instead of relying only on identity tokens, OAuth uses authorization and access tokens for secure communication between systems. In this case, you will provide the token endpoint and authorization endpoint from your identity provider, along with the client ID and client secret. You'll also define scopes such as OpenID, profile, and email, and ensure user attributes are mapped correctly so users can be identified during login. Once these values are added, save the configuration to enable OAuth-based authentication. For setups that rely on token-based authentication using JSON Web Token, the flow shifts from redirect-based login to direct token validation. In this approach, your identity provider generates a signed JWT token, which is validated using a shared public key. From the JWT configuration page, enter the display name, authorization URL, public key, and logout URL, then select Update to complete the setup. Now, SSO is ready, but layered security means we plan for the next failure too. If an account is targeted, you want a second check that stops a login even when a password is guessed or stolen. So next, I will show how to configure two-factor authentication. From the Agent Portal login page, turn on the 2FA option to enforce two-factor authentication. This ensures every agent is prompted to set it up at their next login. For customers, head to the Security tab and select Enable Two-Factor Authentication. One important note here is that this enforcement applies to BoldDesk login, not to SSO or social logins, because those authentication steps happen with the identity provider. Now, when you log into BoldDesk, a QR code and a secret key are displayed. Using an authenticator app, set up 2FA for your accounts. Make sure to store the recovery codes to assist you when you lose access to your authenticator app, which is helpful for secure Office devices while still protecting risky logins. Now for the third layer of protection. IP restrictions let you limit access to trusted locations, like your Office network or a secure VPN. To enable that, head to the Security and Compliance page from your BoldDesk admin portal, and then to the IP restriction section. Here, enable IP-based access restriction and choose the Agent and Customer Portals option. Before you add rules, make sure you're on the correct network or VPN you intend to allow. This helps you avoid accidentally locking out your own team. To allow access, add trusted IPs by selecting Add IP Range. You can enter a single IP address or define a range, then save your changes. You can edit or delete entries at any time. Remember that agents need the appropriate permissions to manage these settings. Security is not a one-time setup. It's an ongoing strategy, and with these configurations, you're building a much stronger foundation for protecting customer conversations and internal data. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.